Hey there, good evening. This is Valerie McDowell, your writer, editor, author, book coach, and consultant. It is another Wednesday. It is Wednesday, November 17th. It is the third Wednesday of the month. We come on live on the first and third Wednesdays every month, and so we are writing it out tonight. For those of you who don't know me, I have been working with writing and time challenge clients, helping them get their stories told and their books published. And in the last 2 years, I've helped over 25 authors go from idea to publish, and I have quite a few dozen people in my online course and many more books to come. So I'm coming before you tonight. I have a great topic, and in light of all that's going on, I wanted to share with you the topic for Write It Out tonight, which is, are you ready? Okay, are you ready? And I'm excited to talk about this topic because I said we're in the third week of the month. Thanksgiving is next week. We are in our 20th month of the pandemic, which started back in March of 2020. And so we've gotten a whole year and into the second year just about. And with some family gatherings either happening in person or virtual for some, this will be your first time getting together. I think that as a writer and a storyteller that this is the perfect opportunity to get some of those long needed information gathering needed for your book from the gathered family members. Okay, so this is a great opportunity. If you're getting together either virtually or in person, then why not? It's like sometimes some of the information you need, you only get it at these times. You only learn stuff, you only get together. But be discerning, okay? Be discerning. You know your family, all right? Let's say that again. Be discerning. You know your family. Bring up topics you can all agree on, or ask specific people for what you need, okay? You want to have a celebration, not a stressful one. And this is not an inquisition. So let the opportunity present itself even with a thoughtful, open-ended question, or be a smooth journalist and observe and take notes on your phone. Everyone's always on their phone anyway these days, so no one will notice. So we're talking about, are you ready? And one of the things that we're sharing and Write It Out is that hey, Stephanie, this is a great opportunity to get information you might need for your book. Since you've got family coming, many of you write memoirs or write, nonfiction books about your life or about different aspects or moments in your life, your history. And so if there's something that you might need to know, there might be a family member. You're like, wait, when did they get married? Or when was this child born? Or members, uncles, like this might be a great opportunity to find that out. And so we're talking tonight about how to kind of gather and be ready for some of these moments. That's going to come up because people are getting together. So, family is whatever you make it these days, especially in light of where people are situated, vaccines, COVID, health, and all these considerations that have to be made. People, you might have, always loved traveling across the country. And now it's like, I'm still not ready. Like, I'm not putting my feet out in the water yet. So whatever it is for you, you can still figure out a way to get information and things that you might need for your story to help it just jump off the page, okay? So tonight we're going to be talking about some of those things, and it's going to be, I think I have 5 points, okay? So we're going to go 5 ways to be ready, okay? So we're talking about getting ready. So 5 ways to be ready when the family gathers and to get that information you might need for your book, okay? So the first way is to be ready for any family history, okay? Be ready, okay? Be like, because, this is what I was saying, like the names, dates, be like, what's the name of your school? When did you graduate? Like sometimes you'll be like, I don't know, kids, grandkids, depending on what generation might be around, they were like, wait, what year was that? Kids born in the 2000s, like if you were born in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s even, you're still old to them. And so knowing the dates, getting the full names, why do they call you Big Daddy or Big Mom, Meemaw? Why do they call Junior Snap? Why do they call Junior Junior? He's not even a junior. So it's like finding out just interesting tidbits and information like that, helps make your story more engaging. And because people love stories, so being able to get information like that helps with the narrative and the storytelling part of your story. Even with this holiday coming up, Thanksgiving here in America, it's like, who cooked Thanksgiving when you guys were little? Like, did you help? Did you have a particular thing? Did this aunt make the macaroni and cheese and not that aunt make the stuffing? Or, but always remember, go back to my first point. We are not doing an inquisition, and be discerning. You know your family members, okay? You know them. Don't start nothing, okay? Because if don't start nothing, it won't be nothing. We want a joyous, happy, loving time, or as best as you can, okay? We don't want to just get through it. We want to enjoy it. It's like, we'll get to that later, okay? So that was number one. Try to get your family history, okay? Another thing that you can gather, so be ready, is recipes, okay? Get those recipes. What about table settings? How is the table being setting? Are you responsible for place settings and you went by the Walmart and got the big jumbo pack of paper plates? If that's what you do, go for it. If you're the one, you go on Grandma's Schiffer robe. Okay, those of you who know what a Schiffer robe is, you know what it is. Or the china cabinet, if those still exist. Do you pull out all the good stuff? The gravy bowl, and all of those things. Do you pull all those things out? Because, nowadays it's like, use it for yourself. Don't wait. Every occasion to be here is an occasion to celebrate. So, but even as you think about, let the stories again come out. Like, is there a children's table in your house? Are there enough people that there's an adults at this table and kids at this table? Does everybody sit at the same table? Do you even sit at the table? Perhaps one of my favorite movies, Matilda, they all sat eating TV dinners in front of their TV with the lights off. That's their family tradition. So whatever yours may be, like, this is great stuff for your stories. It's like, stories don't have to be in this straight linear way or in a certain, photograph, of the perfect family. Your family is whatever it is. Your family is what it is. And it's just like, but look for the good. Look for the unique, interesting, amazing parts of it, even if it's funny. Okay. So how's the titties? Do people dress up? Is your family more formal? Just like, okay, this one time a year, I want you guys to dress up. No short pants. Okay, guys, no sweats. And this whole gray sweats thing, I'm like, it's like, what is that? But like, if everyone's like, just put on a pair of slacks, put on a nice top, a non-t-shirt t-shirt, or maybe everybody, because people are getting together, or even online, it's like everybody wear the same color. Everybody wear a white shirt and blue jeans, Hey there, how are you, Rosiel? Good to see you. And so what are you guys wearing? Like, this is a great opportunity to, for instance, get that family photo that you haven't seen people. You may not see them again for a while. So get a family photo, see what everybody looks like. And for those who can't come and those who won't make it, that's a way for them to see what everybody looks like. So these are all occasions for people, to gather information for your stories. Okay. So Rosil, we're talking about, are you ready? And by are you ready to get the information that you've been trying to get to fill in your book? For those who are gathering for Thanksgiving, or those who might be actually visiting and attending places in person, this is a perfect opportunity. So our first point, we're doing 5 points tonight. The first one is about gathering your family history. Are there dates missing, names? Do you need to know why someone was called a certain thing? Do you need to know where they are from, the name of that town? Like, all those kinds of background information that, probably got glossed over. You're never seen their yearbook or something like that, or they didn't even go to school, but knowing that makes your story much more interesting, because anyone can have a very straight linear, but most people's lives are not very linear. There's lots of turns and curves, and for some people it's like a total, Indy 500, lots of laps around and circles. So, whatever it is for you, it's still your story. So the second point we're talking about was, are you ready to get the recipes? It's like, for some, it's like, look, they may not write it down, so you need to be real observant. Was that a sprinkle of cinnamon, or was that a spoonful? Was that a whole half a gallon of something, or just a smidge? Like, get those recipes, see how things are set up. Do they pull out other decor in the house? Is it one of those things, like, I had a neighbor where every holiday, Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Arbor Day, Ant Day, whatever day it was, this house had just like massive decorations in front of it. And so it's like, are you that family? Is there little dollies and little things over everything in the kitchen, the bathroom? Every level surface has some decor on it. It's like, those are great stories to tell. Okay. So number 3, we've talked about some of the old stuff, some of the background information, but number 3 is, this is a great time to introduce some new traditions, to mix in with some of those old. So, and again, you are observing, you are that writer, you're in the background, you're taking notes, okay? So instead of just eating, watching the game, and falling asleep like many people do, unless you're the person that's cooking, cleaning, and clearing off the table, which we know that happens too. It's like, add in some of these new board games. They have a lot of really great games that have cultural, connections, that make it more fun. Like I saw one that was about, like finish the church saying. So for people who grew up in the church, it's just like, it's like there's certain things that are said, whether you went to a Kojic church, a Methodist church, that there was a routine. So what are some of those kind of games that maybe you can engage people in? I know like a couple years back, like, it was all these videos that we would all end up gathering around, just cracking up, me and my siblings, when we were together for Thanksgiving. So it might be something like that, whereas you might need to cut your TikTok video watching on a regular basis, but Thanksgiving, some of these holidays where you gather around, everybody can have a good laugh, so that's something else, but it's also noteworthy. So be observant, notice these things, notice how, the family gathers, notice the relaxation or the stress level, the person that's been cooking, like, look, I'm not even hungry. I've been cooking for 3 days. Like, but even like, what is that all about? Like, that's a great story to write about. It's like, why do you cook so much? Why do you, I don't know. Like, that's a great story. Like, pull them aside, maybe have a little snack, or even bring a little gift. That's always nice. Bring some flowers. If you're that person who never shows up with, a dish to give, bring some flowers, a drink, bring something. I'm saying it really loud. Bring something for the people in the back, okay? Don't just show up empty-handed, unless you got babies and they don't care. They just want the babies then, right? But another thing, okay? Number 4, that was number 3. Something you can do as a family where you can also still get ready for the stories. Like, there's some families and friend gatherings or whatever your Thanksgiving is like, where they go for a walk. They were like, okay, oh my God. Like, it's like, I psyched myself up. Like, I did green smoothies all week because I wanted to eat, but I still said I'm going to walk after this, or that's just part of their normal routine to go for a walk at 7 o'clock every night. So participate. Go out, walk off some of the gravy, do what it is, unless it's too cold or bad weather, and for some people it doesn't matter. Bundle up, depending on what part of the country you are in, that's part of the tradition. It's cold where you live or where you come from, or you might be in Florida or Texas or somewhere where it might be warm, so think about, or California even. So think about where you are and what traditions, and again, note it. It's like, these are the stories of your lives. Okay. And then number 5, take some photos again for your book. In this age we live in, some gatherings may be the last for some. We've lost a lot of people over these 20 months. And it's like, and some people, they didn't get to say goodbye. So if you have opportunity and the grace to be able to get together with family and friends, get some photos, enjoy those moments, be productive. Like, these are 5 easy ways. You don't really have to do stuff, just talk, have your phone nearby, because if something is said, like, and people, like, even when I work with you guys and work with my one-to-one clients, I always tell you, like, the answers are in you. You often say it out of your mouth. So some of the kind of, pivotal moments in one's life, if you just give them some time, don't ask them yes or no questions, ask them open-ended questions so they can kind of talk a little bit. Here's that opportunity where, you may not have wanted to listen to Grandma ramble on, but she's got some good stuff in there. It's like they've endured a lot. They've gone through, they have solid history, and particularly for those who've lived 70, 80, 90 years, honor, cherish those memories, because life has significantly changed for them. You're going to Quebec. That's cool. Yeah, it's cold up there. Yeah, anything north. Because it was already snowing, I think, in Chicago and some other places already. So yeah, bundle up, Rocio, bundle up. But get some stories. It's like, get, you know, some information about the climate or the setting. Like, what's it like to be in Quebec for Thanksgiving? You know, what are the traditions there? You know, is there any French you're going to come encounter up there? Because I know they speak French there. So bring in the customs and traditions. Like, do you know, what does the setting, you know, the housing look like versus where you live now and other places in the country? What does it look like to be in another country, you know, for Thanksgiving, for the holidays? Do they celebrate it there? Like, what will you be doing? So, you know, put your ears on or turn them up and be real observant. Use your peepers to see, you know, let other people do the talking, you know, and if there's an opportunity to even record someone's story, you know, the older people, they really want to tell. Most people actually don't have to be the elderly, you know, family members, but people like to talk about themselves. They do. So let them. You know, especially if you have a really good question. So if you're on your way to someone's house, if you're thinking about your story, if there's something, you know, very specific that you want to find out, it's like you might have a moment to pull someone aside. Like when everybody else is asleep on the couch or watching a game and hollering, just like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? I'm working on this book, and that'll pique their interest right away. And then they'll be like, what? It's like, you know, they might say, well, don't put that in there, but you could put this in. Let them. Give them that freedom, that opportunity, because for many people, their stories have never been heard. Some of our stories have never been heard. But for those who are older than us, you know, these are great opportunities to at least get some of those tidbits, get some of that wisdom, get some of those, you know, pivotal moments that they've overcome and conquered and gone through. Like, you may not know that your grandma was a model for the department store in 1945. Like, you don't know that, or that she sewed clothes for the fashion designer. She did all the hemming or the trimming. Like, there are stories that we don't know because we don't ask. And many generations, you know, didn't talk about certain things, especially the bad things. And not that we want to dwell on those, but some of those things are what made them strong, what allowed them to endure some of the things they went through. And so, you know, that's a way for you to get, you know, add richness, add depth, add layers to your stories as you write. And then you'll see how much better, you know, that narrative is. So when somebody's reading, they're like, wow, that's fascinating. You know, because I find that when I share even about you guys, my clients, like just the breadth and depth of stories that you all share with me as you work on your books, that people are like, wow, that is amazing that you get to do this. And it is. Like, I'm honored, I'm blessed, because it is amazing that I get to do this. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. I am Valerie McDowell, your writer, editor, author, book coach, and consultant. I work with writing and time challenge clients, helping them get their stories told and their books published. We are on about day 41-ish or somewhere in there in our 90 days to goal challenge. So if you haven't been a part of that, it's like, where are you in your book writing goal? Can you finish your book before the end of the year? 40 days? Yeah, you can do that. You write a chapter a day. You know, at least get your manuscript done. You know, we can finesse it, you know, early into 2022 and get you wrapped up real quick, you know, because that's a way, you know, like, you want to do this. You said you wanted to do it. Like, you don't have to go into the next year without reaching your goal. You can reach it now. All right. So I'm gonna put a link down below if you want to connect with me. But that's all I got for tonight. Until I see you soon, have a great day and be ready. Okay. Be ready. It's a lot of stories right around you. Make sure you capture them. I'll see you next time. Bye.